The waterborne rail adapter is a device that you can attach to the rear truck of any surf skate to give it more lean, which means your wheels hug the ground during tight carves to give you greater control. Now in the past, I haven't used the rail adapter a lot, and that's simply because the stock bushings on the rail adapter are very soft, and at my weight, that means that it gives it too deep of a lean for my personal preference. But what I've learned is that you can modify and customize the rail adapter with Riptide bushings to give it the exact feel that you want. So upgrading your stock rail adapter bushings to Riptide bushings, first of all, is just going to feel a lot better because the urethane is much higher quality, so it gives you higher rebound, smoother turns, and more range of motion through your turns. And on my shop at surfskate.love/shop, you can find Riptide bushings for the waterborne rail adapter in 4 different durometers. The rail adapter uses barrels for the boardside bushings and cones for the roadside bushings. And both of them are the same size, 0.6 inches, which is a very common size that you see in most typical longboard bushings. And so you can actually find these bushings in a lot of different places, but it's just nice and convenient to have them all packaged in one package for you. The stock rail adapter bushings come in 85A durometer. So that means that the closest match in feel in the Riptide bushings is this light blue in 85A as well. And if you want something a little bit stiffer, then you can move up to some of these other higher durometers. We have the 87.5A, the 90A, and the 92.5A. So it's kind of hard to give some weight guidelines on these for the rail adapter because the rail adapter really boils down to so much personal preference. So I'll give you some general weight guidelines here, but take them with a grain of salt and know that you might fall outside of these guidelines based on personal preference. I'm going to recommend the 85A durometer for riders who are about 165 pounds or less. I would recommend the 87.5A to riders between about 165 and 200 pounds. I would recommend the yellow 90A for riders between about, say, 190 and about 225. And I would recommend the 92.5A durometer for riders who weigh about 225 or more. To replace our rail adapter bushings, all we have to do is remove these 2 nuts right here. And the easiest way to do that is to use a ratchet wrench like this. And our nuts will come off, followed by washers, followed by the cone bushings. And now we can grab our truck hanger like so, and it can be kind of difficult to wiggle this off, but you just wiggle it off like so, and there's the top of our rail adapter. Now we have our barrel bushings. So we're going to grab our 87.5A Riptide bushings, starting with the barrel bushings on the board side. Now we're going to take our rail adapter and push it over these. Push it down like so. Now we take our cone bushings, followed by our washers and our nuts. And now we just tighten these up. A final note on this is that if you really want to fine-tune your preference on this, you can actually mix and match durometers. So you could put a different durometer on your barrels than you do on your cones. And if you do that, as a general rule, I'm going to say you probably want to go with harder barrel bushings on the board side than you do on the road side. Because it's those board side bushings that are going to tend to get the most deformed, and then you'll get more range of motion out of these cones on the road side there.